Hey friends, it's Joby here, and we are going to play Destiny. This is my first look at Destiny. We're going to play through one of the strike missions on the moon. The moon came out in the beta. It's the second place you go after Earth. I feel like it's not spoiling very much at all, so we're going to jump in. We'll play through the moon strike mission a little bit. I'll talk about the game, what I like, what I'm not crazy about, and yeah, and then we'll check out the actual strike mission as well itself, because there's some stuff going on here. It's a bit crazy. So as you can see, Destiny is a first-person shooter. The little numbers next to the health bars of the bad guys indicate levels, because Destiny is a first-person shooter RPG, a la Borderlands. So what you're looking at here is a game. It's being played on PS4. It's also available on Xbox One, PS3, and Xbox 360. But I am playing on PS4 because I think everyone I know is playing it on PS4. So it seemed like the most appropriate place to play it. At the moment, my guy is level 16, which is. It's not super high level, but it's fairly high level. The strike we're doing is level 12, so we're tearing through the content a little bit quickly. We're doing quite well at killing all of this stuff, which is good. I'm playing with two mates, Adam and Heath, Goofball, and your mum's awesome. And yeah. One of the things about the strike missions is that it's 3-player by default. You can't do it solo. You have to do it with 2 other people. So basically, you either do it with 2 other mates, or you take a risk and you do it in matchmaking, which is a bit of a it's a bit of a challenge, because you never know what sort of player you're going to get teamed up with. And if you get teamed up with a baddie, you'll wind up having to carry them through some rather difficult content. The strike missions aren't the most difficult content in the game, but they're definitely very challenging, and they'll push you to the absolute limits of your skill. I mean, you'll have to manage ammo, your health, and even things like respawning will be something that you have to, keep an eye on at all points, because as you can see now, respawning restricted means that you have to wait about 30 seconds if you die to respawn, which means that's 30 seconds, that's half a minute that your team doesn't have a third of the players up, which makes things a lot more challenging. So yeah, so what winds up happening is you have to weigh up whether or not you're going to actually help someone out, or you're going to leave them to respawn and stay safe yourself, because before 3 players die, you have to start the sequence all over again. You have to start from the last checkpoint, which it wipes all progress you've currently gone through and starts you from the beginning of a boss fight. If you got the boss down to 70%, and then you all died, you'd have to start with him back at 100% again, which is challenging. So anyway, Destiny is made by Bungie, the team that made Halo and Oni and Marathon, and they've really mastered the idea of the well-polished first-person shooter. They do this wonderful job of creating these worlds that are infinitely appealing. You always get the sense that they have studied and really worked hard to create a feeling in every single area that you go to. You can see the way the light in this area here plays off the various light sources, the way the orange light plays against the blue, and the way the level design really that chain there. It's sort of, why is there a big chain? Why is it all lit up? What's going on there? And you sort of, it tells a great story through level design. They tell a great story through enemy design, and yeah, they create these games that people can really get into. It comes at a risk though, because a lot of the time with Halo, if you didn't get into the game, if you didn't connect with the lore or the gameplay, you wound up finding yourself just not interested in the game at all. Once you solved the gameplay in Halo, I found that I was just bored, really. I just didn't care to play it anymore. I'm about to die. Or I probably should run away, but I'm staying close. Yeah, if you feel that you've solved the gameplay, the Halo games, if you're not still playing it for the story, if you're not still interested in what happens to the Master Chief, then it's very, very hard for you to decide to keep going. You don't feel compelled to continue. Because ultimately, the game it hinges on the perfect combination of the gameplay and the story. Destiny isn't quite like that. It's different in that there is an emphasis on the story, and but there's a much grander emphasis on the gameplay. Everything in the game is, I wasn't paying attention to the enemies there. Everything in the game is geared towards making sure the gameplay is perfect, and then they work. Oh Jesus, those things explode. They can kill you in one shot. It's bad. It's geared towards making sure you are enjoying the game, and then the story kicks in and attempts to engage you, so to see if it can get you to care. I think perhaps, well, this was definitely the best way to go, because I know I haven't connected with the story at all. It's not that I don't care about the plight of humanity in this post-Seeker world, but yeah, it doesn't really capture my attention. It's probably, I would say, I'd put it at the feet of
Sounds like we're getting closer.
Peter Dinklage. Thank you for talking. I feel like he's your main voice throughout the game. He talks a lot of the time. He does most of the talking, and it just doesn't seem like he puts in a lot of effort. Either he doesn't put in a lot of effort, or what they told him to do, they just didn't direct him very well. They didn't give him a very good... they didn't really emphasize what he needed to bring to the character, because 3 headshots in a row? 4 headshots! Oh, I'm about to go MLG on you. It's amazing! Actually, while I put that there, so the grenade that I put out is it lasts for quite some time, and you see that enemy was still alive because it hid away from the grenade. The AI in this game, and in most Bungie games, is phenomenal, but it takes it up a notch in this game. You'll notice there are enemies that have shields, and when you take out their shields, you can watch them get the hell away to try and stay alive. So that's a big wall that these Halo Knights can put up. That's not the shield. The wizards have shields. It's the white bar over there, normal health bar. And when that shield goes away, they tend to stop attacking. And it's brilliant. You then have to chase them down. Sometimes you can get the shield down. You can spend a lot of energy trying to get the shield of an enemy down, only to have them run away back into an area where it's too dangerous for you to chase them. They'll regenerate their shield, and you're back where you started from. Or maybe worse off if you decided to chase them. It's really, really well done. And yeah, it's easily the most interesting aspect to the entire game is the way that the different enemies work with one another, and it seems to be dynamic. Alright, that was a star wipe because the first time we attempted this, we failed miserably. And I didn't want you to have to sit through 10 or 15 minutes of us failing. So, here comes the boss fight. This is the beginning of the boss fight. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go on ad patrol. And I am going to put myself deep in the shit. Yeah, I sort of got well and truly out of my comfort zone there. That's actually a spawning area on the right hand side. Enemies spawn through there, so this isn't the best place for me to stand, but it's necessary to get up here to make sure I can yeah, I can shut things down. A blue and a green item just dropped for me there. I got a blue engram, which I have to take back to the tower to get basically identified. The easiest way to think about this game is, a lot of people will call it World of Halo Craft, but it's far more similar to the Diablo series, in my opinion. It's a loot chasing game. You're constantly retooling your character based on the loot that you get, as opposed to characterization with your character first and the loot second. It's vice versa, like Diablo is, where you make your character based around what gear you're wearing. That's... oh my god, I'm a headshot machine. But yeah, that's why it's so much more similar, in my opinion, to Diablo. And to that end, I don't know, I'm worried that it might fall into similar traps that Diablo did. I am so gonna die right here. I should probably run. Look at me, I've got a sliver of health, and yet I choose to stay here. Ridiculous, Joe. And one of those cursed thralls showed up, and he's about to explode. So now, as you can see, I've got 20 seconds to wait to respawn. I'm watching Goofball Antics Heath attempt to... I think he's making his way around to help me. And if you look in the bottom right hand corner, you can see the speaker icon showing up every now and then. And that indicates that someone's talking. I talk a lot, and I'm probably telling Heath to not try to help me, because I'm about to respawn, and I'll be fine. The other thing, there was a bit of a challenge because Adam and Heath couldn't actually hear each other, which was a bit weird. So that made things a little bit more difficult. I had to relay any messages Adam had for Heath and any messages Heath had for Adam. I had to relay the messages across, which increased the challenge somewhat. Anyway, so as you can see, another piece of loot has dropped. I'm going to go grab it. And yeah, what we're doing is we're clearing out ads, but we're going to get to a stage pretty soon where we stop clearing out ads. We stop clearing out these extra mobs. So you've got the boss and you've got ads. This is MMO lingo that's sort of made its way into all video games. So ads are additional enemies. That was actually a pretty decent grenade. And yeah, so actually, this the wizard up here has left because he lost his shield, and he's back. He's going to try and attack me because my friend is down, but I managed to get him with a good headshot. Anyway, so the ogre, the big bad, he's attempting to ping me. I'm trying desperately to stay alive. What we're basically trying to do is we've got Adam on the other side of the world, I'm on this side of the world, and we're attempting to trade aggro, and that's... aggro is when... oh my lord, that is so embarrassing. Anyway, aggro is what occurs when an enemy is focused on you, it's aggravated with you, and so you try to trade aggro to make sure that one person isn't taking too much damage. Heath jumps into the shit, and he falls off the wall. That's bad. So I've got 5 seconds. So Adam needs to live for the next 5 seconds, or we'll have to start this entire damn thing again. So he runs away. I respawn. I'm back in the world, and we run out. You just saw it said supercharged, so I can use my super, and I will here, to take out a bunch of enemies all at once. It's a big attack. I have to be careful of that explodey dude, because they can wreck me. So anyway, functionally what we want to do is we want to trade aggro to keep the focus off any one person for too long, because it allows them a chance to reload, a chance to deal with any additional adds near them. It gives them breathing space, basically. At the same time, the boss has a prominent critical point on his stomach. When you shoot him in the stomach, he takes a significant amount more damage. He takes about double damage. It's a critical hit. So you want to, if you can, you want to have his focus long enough that you can get some critical hits in, but not so long that you can't live through the experience. So that's why we're trading aggro. That's why we had been switching sides. We're on the same side at the moment because the wizards are... There's too many wizards and we're getting wrecked by them. So we're all grouping up to take out the wizards, and then we're going to split up again. You can see he's a massive enemy, and you might see the chains on him. So the chain that I talked about earlier, the one that was busting through the ground back up top, that's one of the chains that was holding him in place. And it's, again, it's one of those things that really allows the level to tell a story when the game might not be superb at doing it itself. So you wind up becoming enamored with just exploring the game world, as opposed to I'm not really that interested in listening to the cutscenes or listening to my ghost Peter Dinklage speak. Those things don't interest me, but wondering what's going on behind us out there in the world, or you know, who created such a prison for this monster. That's something that interests me quite a bit. Alright, as you can see, I just got shreked. So, who's still alive? Adam's still alive. Adam spends a lot of the time alive. He's very agile and stays out of danger quite well, while Heath and I both probably commit and do dumb things a bit more often. And they both arrive at the same time to try to revive me, which probably isn't the best plan. Anyway, so if we can get a look at the ogre. So we got him to about half health, which is okay. So now we need to focus on burning down the rest of his health. And these ads continue to come out. We continue to need to do something about them. That's my rocket launcher. It's slow to fire, so it's a bit risky, but at least it gets 2 shots out before I have to reload, which is handy dandy. And yep, it's doing quite a bit of damage, which is cool. And there's a wizard. He can eat a rockets, and I'm now out of rocket ammo. And as you can see, I have only 56 bullets left for my pistol. 19 bullets for my shotgun. This game, like this mode, this strike is definitely about resource management as much as it is about level control and health control and teamwork. Resource management is a huge part of the game, and it's a huge part of this level. He does massive damage. He wrecks us. As I mentioned, I'm level 16. Adam's level 16. Peter's level 12, and this is a level 12 strike. So we should technically be the correct level for this strike, to do this strike. But like, it should be easier than it is, but it just isn't, because I mean, yeah, possibly our strategy isn't 100% sound, but there's also the fact that these enemies, they worked hard to make them imposing and terrifying, and they did a really good job. This Fogoth is actually a larger version of another enemy that you might have seen earlier, the Ogre. And yeah, it's cool to see them change how he works. The first few times I attempted this boss, I was trying to shoot him in the eye because that's where the weak spot is on the Ogre, but no, instead it's this hernia on his stomach. And it's cool that they changed it up so that you have to find a new weak spot. And yeah, you don't wind up just doing the same thing for every enemy. That's the sort of thing that the game is bringing. As you can see, his AI is going to fail him a little bit here, and he's going to, yeah, stand in my super for a bit longer than he should, but hell, I stand in the fire sometimes. Everyone stands in the fire sometimes. It's only natural. Even the best AI can be tricked. And here I get a little bit cocky, and I go in for the kill, and it's an idiotic idea. So he's about to go down. So the real main thing you want to do when you're taking on Fogoth is split up, share the aggro, make sure you keep your teammates alive, and yeah, enjoy yourself, mostly. It's a hectic fight.
The dark has been slain.
As you can hear now that
But how many more
I can't remember her name. She was the captain in Firefly, and she's the boss in Suits. But yeah, they've got a lot of big names doing voices for the game, which is awesome. And overall, I'm really enjoying Destiny. I think it's a really cool take on bringing Diablo and a first-person shooter together. I think it does it very well. As you can see, now that we finished the strike mission, we get all kinds of rewards. I upgraded one of my attacks. I got a new rocket launcher and a new set of gloves. They're both blues, they're rare, which is awesome. So rares have more attachments to them, so they do more things. They're basically better gear. You take a lower level blue over a higher level white item any day of the week. And yeah, I think the real test for Destiny is going to be longevity after I reach the max level, which I think is level 20. I'm nearly there now, but it's going to be important that I don't feel like there's no point in continuing. As you can see, I unlocked strike playlists. And they're a thing that allow you to, once you get to level 18, you can, over here next to the Crucible, you can do a random strike mission, any of the strike missions, but it's been leveled up to 18. And so the challenge has been increased. And you've really got to push yourself to attempt to complete it. And you don't really get to know straight off the bat what you're going to do. I think that will help. Little random things like that. Anyway, thanks for watching my first look at Destiny. I hope you enjoyed that first look at the game. I hope you enjoyed the boss fight with Fogoth. It's a fantastic fight. It's super challenging, and it takes a lot of effort. And hopefully that's what Destiny will really focus on from here on out, bringing challenging and complex content to players who are interested in being involved with it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. See you, friends.